Have the Pittsburgh Steelers found a secret weapon to go against the Colts tomorrow? Hello, Steeler Nation, and welcome to this extra episode of your Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate here on a Sunday, as there is no Steelers game. There's no post game here on Sunday, but we will obviously be back with a post game tomorrow after the Steelers take on the Colts at Lucas Oil Field. Remember, if you've just found the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate and you're a diehard black and gold fan, then hit that sub, ring that notification, and press that like, guys. Well, have the Pittsburgh Steelers found a secret weapon to play against the Colts tomorrow? Now, obviously, the Steelers are without backup running back Jaylen Warren, who is missing with a hamstring injury after he went out in the last game. Obviously, the Steelers, therefore, cannot load all of the running expectations onto Najee Harris. Harris obviously needs to be spelled. He needs to be given a rest. He cannot be pushed and pushed and pushed to the point where he could risk injury. So after all, that's the type of back he is. He's a tough, hard running back and therefore more likely to sustain wear and tear injuries. Realistically, Benny Snell is not an option. Snell has not taken part in many, if any, offensive snaps this year. And let's be truthful, guys. Snell is an absolutely awful running back. All Snell has done this year, obviously, is taken part in special teams where he's had 5 tackles for his over $1 million cap hit. Money well spent there by the Steelers organization. Anyway, the secret weapon the Steelers have back tomorrow is someone I feel should have been on the roster in place of Snell since the start of the NFL season, and that is Anthony McFarland Jr. Now, I know some Steeler fans are not the biggest fan of Ant Mac and often see him falling over his own feet and making some very silly errors. However, Ant Mac looked very, very good in training camp. He looked very good in preseason too. And it was a surprise when the Steelers released him and eventually signed him back to their practice squad. Preferentially, I would have actually put him onto the roster in place of Snell. Now, I know Snell has this, he's good at special teams, but I'm sick to death of hearing this, he's good at special teams stuff that we have from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Benny Snell, Derek Watt, Marcus Allen, all these players who are good at special teams. Oh my God, it makes me want to puke. But Anthony McFarland Jr. is someone who's going to bring something different to this Steelers offense. Now, granted, he hasn't had a great deal of production in the past. In the 2020 season, he had 11 games played, 33 attempts at rushing, 113 yards, 3.4 average per carry, a long of 20. In 2021, he had 2 games played, 3 attempts, 3 yards, 1 yard per average. A yet long of 3. So obviously not a great deal of success there. Receiving wise, 11 games played again, obviously in 2026 receptions, 10 yards, 10 targets, 54 yards, 9 yards average, long of 17. In 2021, he played obviously the 2 games that we know of, had 1 reception on 1 target for 11 yards. Returning wise, in 2021, he returned 2 punts and returned 3 kickoffs for 73 yards. Now, that's something else McFarland brings. McFarland brings all 3 elements to the Steelers' offense. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he can return kicks and punts. Although at this moment in time, I don't think there's much need for that, given how good Steven Sims has been at kickoff returns and punt returns, particularly in the last game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The one thing McFarland brings is something the running back room has failed to have this season so far. Now, no disrespect to Harris or Jaylen Warren, who've both acquitted themselves well, especially in recent weeks, and Jaylen Warren all season, especially when you consider this guy was an undrafted free agent out of North Carolina. Ant Mac is someone who brings that change of pace. This guy is lightning fast. Give him a hole, give him a gap to go through, and he will fly through that gap. He is someone that brings that speed to the backfield, something that has been missing all season from the Pittsburgh Steelers running back room. In addition, he's a threat coming out of the backfield, catching the ball and turning on the afterburners. The speed that McFarland brings definitely gives the Steelers more options. In addition to that, he can be schemed into some more clever gadget plays like flea flickers, like end arounds. He can be put into a halfback position. He can be used in a number of different roles. And that is exciting for the Steelers. In addition to that, he has not been used yet this season. He is an unknown going into this game, something that the Indianapolis Colts are going to find hard to scheme for. I'm really excited to see what Anthony McFarland can bring to the Steelers offense, what a difference he can make. He's a different type of running back. He's a different type of weapon. He's something new. He's used to Canada as well, having played for Matt Canada at Maryland. So Matt Canada, let's be a bit positive about Matt Canada here for a change. Matt Canada has got in Anthony McFarland somebody he knows about, somebody he knows his skill set, he knows what he's able to do, and has in the past incorporated him into an offense. Therefore, meaning there's a good chance we could see Ant Mac feature and figure on a reasonable number of snaps on Monday night against the Colts. I can't wait to see how the Steelers use Ant Mac and how they use his speed. I certainly hope they do use him and use him as that change of pace back and that weapon coming out of the backfield, giving Najee Harris a chance to rest. It also gives us a two different type of running back attack, a ground and pound from Harris and a speed from McFarland. Certainly a secret weapon. Wow, Steeler Nation, let me know what you think of the inclusion of Ant Mac into the team for Monday night and what you think he can bring. And are you excited to see him play? And is this a good option for our Pittsburgh Steelers? Thanks for watching the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. If you like the content, hit the sub, ring the notification bell, and come on board and join the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Let's finish it in the only way we know how. Here we go, Steelers. Come on!